Have you ever noticed how everyone blames the MCU for Marvel's decline? Oh, Phase 5 is trash, the movies are woke, the magic is gone. Yeah, true. But here's the thing, Marvel Comics were already in freefall long before Kevin Feige started serving up woke slop at the box office. The rot didn't start after the endgame, folks. It started in the comics. You thought Marvel's movies were in trouble, buddy. That's nothing new. The comics face-planted long before the MCU even got wobbly. If you want to know how Marvel managed to screw up its own golden goose before Hollywood did, stick around, because it's a tale of arrogance, pandering, and just plain bad writing. Back in the day, Marvel Comics were king. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, these guys weren't just writing stories, they were creating modern myths. Spider-Man was about responsibility, Captain America was about courage. The X-Men, they tackled prejudice in a way that hit you straight in the gut. But somewhere along the way, the magic faded. Marvel Comics didn't just lose their way, they drove themselves straight off a cliff, slammed into a ditch, and then sold the wreckage to Disney. For decades, Marvel Comics was the place. Then, somewhere around the 2000s, Marvel decided, you know what fans don't want? Good stories. Let's give them politics, lectures, and soft reboots instead. And shocker, people stopped buying their books. The first big problem, corporate writing. Instead of storytellers with vision, we got committees pumping out content. Comics stopped being about Peter Parker juggling rent and responsibility and became about, well, nothing. Endless crossover events, reboots every 2 years, and shocking character deaths that stuck about as long as a TikTok trend. It wasn't about building myth anymore, it was about chasing headlines. Civil War, Secret Invasion, Fear Itself, Secret Wars, War of the Secret Fear. Every single month was another universe-shattering crossover. But when everything is universe-shattering, nothing actually matters. Readers just tapped out. Instead of creating new, compelling characters, Marvel kept replacing old heroes with the diverse version. Thor was replaced, Iron Man was replaced, Spider-Man had 1,000 spin-offs. Don't get me wrong, diversity in characters isn't the problem. The problem is lazy writing. They didn't build new legends, they just reskinned the old ones. It's like reskinning Skyrim for the 10th time and calling it innovation. By the time the MCU started crumbling under its own weight, the comics were already irrelevant. Sales were in the gutter. Readers had fled to indie publishers or just gave up entirely. Marvel Comics had lost their soul. And without that foundation, how could the movies possibly hold up? You can't build a cinematic empire on the corpse of your source material. Marvel forgot its audience. The diehards who kept comics alive through the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Yeah, they were mocked as toxic fans. If you didn't clap like a trained seal at every bad reboot, you were labeled a problem. Really, a problem. You're a paying customer. Instead of listening, Marvel doubled down on scolding. And guess what? The fans left. Sales plummeted. By 2017, Marvel's numbers were in freefall, and stores couldn't move their books. So here's the truth. Marvel Comics fell apart before the MCU ever did. The decline wasn't about superheroes being outdated. It was about Marvel losing respect for its own characters and for the fans who loved them. But the fix is simple. Stop rebooting, stop lecturing, and start telling good stories again. Spider-Man doesn't need a new gender or a political manifesto. He just needs rent due on Friday and a Green Goblin trying to kill him. Marvel forgot that heroes aren't supposed to be lecture material. They're supposed to be, well, heroes. Marvel Comics didn't fail because of changing times. They failed because they stopped respecting the timeless truths that made heroes heroes. Truth, sacrifice, courage, and responsibility. That's what built Marvel into a legend. And until they reclaim that, the comics will keep rotting in the bargain bin.